Good morning, 10th grade. I am back and finishing up the book here today. I don't know what you're ready for, where you're at, but I am doing pages. Let me see here. I'm starting on page 48. 48 through the end of the book. 48 to 55. Maybe I better write that on the board. Page 48 through 55. There we go. And then you'll be ready for test tomorrow. Like I told you, however this works out, if you don't get it this quick, if you're not able to get it done, well, just finish it, get your work back here at school. I'll be back next week. You don't have to have it done this week, but don't let it drag on long. Here we go. 4.21 is the first one that I will do. Again, I will not go over the examples, but the way I learned how to do it to tell you is I looked at the examples. You will need to do the same. And they give you 3 examples, I believe. And that's the 3 styles of problems that I'm working with. On the bottom of page 41, there is an example, or there is a little note there. It says, note that in both models you multiply both sides of the equation to get rid of the fraction. Many times students forget to multiply the 1 on the right side of the equation by the lowest common denominator. So you have to find your LCD, and then you have to multiply each term, including the last one. So when you have this term, you always end up with a 1 at the end of the equation. You can look there, you can put your numbers in a fraction, and you have to think how you put your fraction. But when you end up, when you're completely done, it's going to equal 1. There's one job, there's one thing that needs to be done. So your equal sign will always be 1 on every one of these problems. And when you find your least common denominator and you multiply that to get your fractions into whole numbers, you have to multiply that 1 by that number as well. Here we go. The first one is very easy. Ted can mow a lawn in 5 minutes by using his power mower. Galen takes 15 minutes to mow the same lawn using a push-type mower. How many minutes would the job take if the 2 boys work together? Okay, well, you can go time them if you wanted to, but most boys don't like mowing the yard that good, so you can't get your brothers to go out and mow the yard for you, so you have to know how to do it in math. First thing, there's, I didn't write that all over. There's 5 minutes for the one boy and 15 minutes for the other boy. Yeah, I did. And there's 1 yard to mow. Okay? They're working together, so that means you add them. Okay? That's simple. And so you put them in a fraction. 1/5, 1/15. It still equals 1. Now, you look at your denominators and you say, oh, I need to get these here into a whole number. So 5 and 15, the least common denominator, can you see that? It looks foggy in there. It's 15. The LCD is 15 for these 2 fractions. So I multiply this number times 15 and this number times 15. So 15, I put 15 up here in my head. I multiply, cancel this 5 out 1. I've got a 3x. Now you see here, I all of a sudden put the x in there. Well, that's the job that needs to be done. I could have put the x up here, up here, up here. It wouldn't have mattered. There's 3x. Now here I multiply this times 15. There's 15 here and 15 here. That's 1x, which I just put x. And then I multiply the 1 times 15 is 15. If you get to this point, it's just like, woo, done. Slide right out. 3x plus 1x is 4x. 15x divided is 15 over, or 3 3/4. It will take those guys 3 3/4 minutes to mow the yard if they both work at it. They're going to be out of work pretty soon. You better get another yard for them to mow. You can check it. I'll let you, the book shows you how to check it. I'm not going to check my problems. I did look in the answer book and they was right in there. Okay, let's move over to the next one. Going up the top of the page. 422. Better read it. Mr. Boyle can pick a bucket of apples by hand in 5 minutes. If his son joins him in the work, they can pick a bucket in 3 minutes. Okay, the 2 together can get it in 3 minutes. How long will the son take to do the job? Okay, now you have to do some thinking how to set this problem up. Okay? You got 5 minutes for the dad by himself, then you got 3 minutes for the son. Okay? So I put 1/5, 1x. But I said, oh, you know what? It's going to take the boy 3, the dad 3. So I should have erased this here. This is the way I started to work the problem to start with, and it didn't come out. And I thought, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Well, I forgot to put the 3 in there. So you got 3 1/5 and 3 over x. See, the boy, we don't know how long it took, but we know that when he was picking with his dad, he picked 3 minutes. So he said, oh, okay, he'll have to pick his allotted time, which would be 3. Oh, here, I'll just drop down here. You have to put the 3 here and the 3 here, because he'll have to pick that 3 minutes while his dad picked, because his dad's not going to help him. He's going to pick it by himself. Okay, so you went 3 over 5 and 3 over x. Okay, and I said my least common denominator is 5 and x, so I'll put 5x. So I multiplied. I still got my 1 over here. I never talked about my 1, but I kept writing him down. So this here's a little bit harder to set up. It's not quite as simple as that there, but if you stop and think, what you don't know is how long it took him to pick all of them. You know that he helped for 3 minutes, his father. So now you got 5x times this here is going to be 3x. So if you multiply 5x, I put 1, so you can cancel out the 5, and that leaves you with 3x. Here if you multiply 5x, and you cancel out the x's, you have 3 times 5 is 15 and no x. Watch that. Don't let that trick you. Then you go 5x times 1, it's 5x. Now, you have 3x plus 15. I went and brought the 3x over here and subtracted it from the 5x, makes me 2x, and I still have the 15 here. Divide the 2 into there, bring down your x, 2 into 15, or 7.5. You're going to take the boy 7.5 minutes to pick the apples, if he does it by himself. You can check that. You can put 7.5 in there, and you will find it to come out right. I'll let you do the rest of that page, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to let you do 4, 5, 6, 7 on the next page, but I got a deal. I am going to do 430, and so you'll have 7 columns. I'll let you skip one of your choice. Okay, from 423 to 429, you skip one of your choice. Now get these 2 answers down, and I've got one more yet here on 430. This one here is a little bit more. They added another exponent here. He says, an experienced plumber can do the finishing plumbing work on a house in 8 hours. An unexperienced plumber will take 12 hours to do the job. Now watch this. Okay, they're not working together. An unexperienced plumber will take 12 hours to do the same. If 2 experienced men and 3 unexperienced men work on an emergency finishing job, how many hours will they take to do the job? Okay, they got an emergency, and so there's a whole bunch of them going to go. And you get that? It takes 12 hours for an unexperienced, and it takes 8 hours for an experienced man. Now look how many of each went. Okay? So you could start out with 8 and 12, and you're doing the same job. They're working together, so you could put 1 8 and 1 12. Here, I'm in the middle. You could do 1 8 and 1 12. Well, that's not quite how you got to do it, because it's going to equal 1. You see, there was 3 of the 1 12ths, and there was 2 of the 1 8ths working. That makes sense? Now, they're all working together. So you multiply 2, so you have 2 over 8. Remember, we just put the 1 up there to make it in a fraction. So now you got 2 of these guys. And here you got 3 of these guys. So you got 3 12, 2 8, and you still have 1. Now you find your least common denominator. 24. Okay? 8 and 12 is 24. So you multiply 24 times 2/8, you come with 6x. Here again, you just have to substitute the x. You just know, you could have put the x here, I could have put it there. I left the x all out of there. Okay? 6x. Now, you come over here, and you go 24 times 3x, you come up with 6x also. You can do that there if you doubt me on that one. You got 24 over 1, and so you cancel this out 1. This is 2. 2 times 3 is 6x, sure enough. And here if you went 24 over 1, you cancel this at 1, and you had 3. 2 times 3, 6x. Comes out, both of them, 6x. And then you go 24 times 1, that's 24. Now, you add these together, 12x, 24x. It took those 5 men 2 hours to finish that house. That is if they didn't run into each other. I imagine it wasn't very efficient. It probably took them 3. All right, and now you're ready for self-test 4. You do that at your leisure, and do that last test, and I'll give you a credit for this time. That is if you passed all your tests. Can't do it if you don't make an 80% on your test. See you, and hope you have a good summer, and I don't know if you'll come back next year or not. Have a good one.